Namaste, Namaskar, good evening, Sat Sri Akal, and welcome to Postmortem with Bala Nagendran. Enlightenment begins here only on Radio Udaan, a flight of life. Thunder is Thursday to 9 p.m. 60 minutes of enlightenment, continuous informative enlightenment, only possible with me, Bala Nagendran, a pathologist, the autopsy expert and a postmortem specialist who is going to dissect an important issue tonight, only on your favorite enlightening show, Postmortem. Enlightenment begins here. Dear Udaanites, for the 3 successive weeks, we have been interacting with an important issues that governs the human civilization. Although the purpose or the core concept might have been Indian-centric, it helps the international community as well to understand India as well as to understand and observe what is happening in their country. Of course, postmortem is meant for universality. We will come with universal subjects in the upcoming episodes. For as of now, we are going to deal with one of the most significant issues which not only India but the entire world is of great concern with, that especially focuses on India's projection as an icon of peace and tolerant, universally accepted global miniature. So, stay tuned to Radio Udaan and stay tuned with me till 9 o'clock. You will get to know a lot of information about an important issue. We know about this issue, we know the basics, but we should know the basements. Our basements are not strong, that's why we are unable to invoke this issue so limelight. That's why we have come today in our most enlightening show, Postmortem, to discuss deep down to the core of this issue. But before that, you can stay with us by various means that we have given for all of you. The most important among them all is our website, www.radioudaan.com, radioudaan.com. I repeat, radioudaan.com, where you can go and submit your feedback. For example, if you're listening to Postmortem right now and if you want to feedback about Postmortem, about the content, about the quality of presentation, about the quality of the IJ who shares his or her contents with you, go to www.radioudaan.com and find the link, submit feedback, and select the show Postmortem with Bala Nagendran and rate the show according to your choice. Excellent, very good, good, okay, poor will be the choices. Choose anyone among the 5 according to your wish. Your choice will help us to progress in the future. And you can also fill in the form interested to become an IJ if you are interested to make your voice to be heard across the globe through this wonderful vehicle that transforms lives from stress to bliss. The vehicle that travels, make you have a voyage to veracity. The vehicle that pulls you from the state of pompousness to the state of absolute power and glory and glitter. Radio Udaan, Light of Life, has also in Android. Yes, we are on Android as well. So go to Google Play Store and download Android app and enjoy Radio Udaan 24/7 with its mellifluous music and entertaining shows. You can also be with us on Facebook through facebook.com/Radio Udaan official page, and group will welcome you, and you can post your incessant enlightenments, valid comments, suggestions, ideas and thoughts through which you can make this platform a better one. If you want to follow our day-to-day operation, very simple. Follow us at Radio Udaan, at RADIOUDAAN. You can also interact with me right now if you are interested to interact about this subject. You can interact with me if you share your content. I will read your name as well as the content that you share on air so that you can also get yourself familiarized. So Skype me. Skype ID is Radio Udaan. I'm on Skype now. Skype ID is Radio Udaan, RADIOUDAAN. And let's plunge ourselves into today's Postmortem. Beware of the controversies. today we are going to talk about one of the greatest provisions granted by the Indian Constituent Assembly under one of its basic structures. In fact, the Constituent Assembly and its leader Dr. B.R. Ambedkar called it a novel feature of the world's lengthiest constitution. We are going to talk about the provision that could grant us universality. We are going to deal with an issue that has been understood on one hand as an imminent, nonchalant measure to make things good for all, and on the other hand, the minoritarian perspective of an effort to crush the minority religious beliefs. We understand your curiosity, but however, this is not the show where we can pick the call. And listeners, we respect your interest. However, we acknowledge your eagerness to speak over Radio Udaan on air. We have various platforms for that. So, we request the listeners to stay tuned and listen to Radio Udaan and listen to Postmortem, where we are going to dissect Article 44 of the Constitution of India that talks about three important words which constitutes a universal phrase that could determine and define Indianness. That is Uniform Civil Code. Article 44 of the Constitution talks about Uniform Civil Code, which says, I quote, "The Government of India shall endeavor to bring for the citizens a uniform civil code throughout the territory of India." This simple sentence with the keywords Uniform Civil Code and throughout the territory of India proves to be invalid. This emphasizes the necessity to avoid inequalities based on race, place of birth, sex, caste, class, creed, and religion. But what is happening as of now? The discussion is on, the debate is on, at the same time, throwing fists at each other on the religious grounds is also on, which could cause social unrest in a country that believes in unity in diversity. We are going to deal with today the issue of Uniform Civil Code from its historic perspective to the recent changes. The revolutionistic evolution of Uniform Civil Code will be the key tonight in our dissection of Article 144. The only Article 44 of the Directive Principles of State Policies of the Constitution of India grants us an immunity to become one among all. It treats the alike as alike. It grants equality to the unequal distribution of population. India, the global miniature or the mini model of globe, has to abide by what the visionaries, the founding fathers of the Constitution have granted us. But we need to understand that have we got this Uniform Civil Code only at the post-independence India? What was its history? If we trace its history back, we can go and talk from the era of Alauddin Khilji. Don't get surprised, but this is the reality, as even the Sultanic Emperor Alauddin Khilji hasn't completely accepted the personal laws. Why we need to speak about personal laws, properties, inheritance, alimony, divorce, and adoption? Because Uniform Civil Code strikes down all the differences that prevails in all the above said things and draws a common line for all its citizens despite differences of gender, religious, caste, creed, place of birth, race, and so forth. So stay tuned to Radio Udaan, and the next link we will talk about what is Uniform Civil Code and the historic perspective, the historic background from Alauddin Khilji to 1772's Warren Hastings and 1790 Cornwallis, 1817 Rudolph Peters, 1840 Rule, 1864 Indian Marriage Act, 1865, 1859 Victorian Rule, and many more on your way only on Radio Nada Flight of Life. This is Postmortem with Balanagin, and enlightenment begins here.
क्या सुमित, एक बात पूछूं?
हाँ पूछो।
तुम्हारे सारे फ्रेंड्स स्टिक यूज करते हैं, पर तुम क्यों नहीं करते?
यार मुझे स्टिक के साथ चलना बहुत अटपटा लगता है और लुक भी तो बिगड़ जाती है ना अपनी।
अच्छा, मुझे तो ऐसा बिल्कुल नहीं लगता। तुम एक मिनट यहीं रुको, मैं जरा अपनी इंस्टॉलमेंट पे करके आती हूँ और कहीं जाना मत यहाँ से।
ठीक है। हेलो श्रेया।
हाँ सुमित।
यार कितना समय हो गया, कहाँ हो तुम?
माय गॉड, आई एम सो सॉरी सुमित। मुझे मेरी एक फ्रेंड मिल गई और मैं उसके साथ निकल गई। मैं भूल ही गई थी कि तुम मेरे साथ थे।
काश कि आपने सही समय पर केन का इस्तेमाल सीख लिया होता तो आज हालात ऐसे न होते। इसीलिए दोस्तों कीजिए केन से दोस्ती, क्योंकि नो केन नो गेन।
इस भाग-दौड़ भरी जिंदगी में रहन सहन, खान पान और आबो हवा सब कुछ तो बदल गया है और इस बदलाव के कारण ही पैदा हो गई हैं ढेर सारी बीमारियां। तो कैसे बचें इन बीमारियों से? आखिर करें तो करें क्या? ये जानने के लिए सुनिए सेहत की बात क्षितिज के साथ, हर शुक्रवार रात 8 से 9 और पुनः प्रसारण हर शनिवार दोपहर 3 से 4 सिर्फ और सिर्फ रेडियो उड़ान पर।
लो आ गई नई आजादी।
मगर बताओ तो सही, कौन सी है ये नई आजादी?
ये आजादी है हमें और भी करीब से सुनने की।
वो कैसे?
वो ऐसे कि अब आप हमें सुन सकते हो हमारे ऑफिशियली एंड्रॉइड ऐप के माध्यम से, जो कि अवेलेबल है गूगल प्ले स्टोर पर।
तो आज ही डाउनलोड करें रेडियो उड़ान का ऑफिशियल ऐप और आनंद लें एक नई आजादी का। रेडियो उड़ान, अ फ्लाइट ऑफ लाइफ।
विकलांगों की आवश्यकताओं के अनुरूप समाज में बाधा रहित निर्माण ही है विकलांगजनों के लिए सहज जीवन का एहसास।
सहज सुगम विकलांग का जीवन, समय की है आवाज यही, सुगम भारत अभियान सफल हो, सरकार का है प्रयास यही।
सार्वजनिक भवनों, सरकारी कार्यालयों, स्कूल, अस्पताल, पुलिस स्टेशन आदि के साथ साथ विभिन्न परिवहन व्यवस्थाओं जैसे रेलवे स्टेशन, बस स्टॉप, एयरपोर्ट आदि को विकलांग जनों की आवश्यकताओं के अनुरूप सुगम बनाया जा रहा है,
ताकि दृष्टि बाधित, श्रवण बाधित तथा अन्य विकलांगजन बाधा रहित जीवन के सुखद एहसास से गुजर सकें।
अधिक जानकारी www.disabilityaffairs.gov.in से हासिल करें।
सुगम्य भारत, सशक्त भारत,
विकलांग जन सशक्तिकरण विभाग, भारत सरकार।
आप सुन रहे हैं रेडियो उड़ान, द फ्लाइट ऑफ लाइफ, वर्ल्ड्स नंबर 1 इंटरनेट रेडियो स्टेशन ऑफ इट्स ओन काइंड। सुनते रहिए और एंजॉय कीजिए रेडियो उड़ान।
Before delving to the historic background, we need to know what the current discussion on Uniform Civil Code talks about. The recent interview given by our Honorable Prime Minister Narendra Modi to an Urdu newspaper said, I quote, Uniform Civil Code doesn't mean that striking down the religious minority laws or personal laws of the religious minorities and bringing them under the roof of Hindu code or Hindu law. Uniform Civil Code is uniform for all. It strikes down all the religious personal property inheritance laws which treats the people in a different way. For instance, in an Islam, according to Islamic rules, one can marry four. However, for Christians and Hindus, it will amount to persecution. Such a distinction of treatment, such an appeasement is not suitable for a country that is on pursuit towards equality and development, said the Prime Minister. So from this we can understand that the government intention on invoking Article 44 and making Uniform Civil Code a mandate one. So what is your Uniform Civil Code? As I have been saying since the beginning of the show, that it is a common code for civilians. That's why common means uniform, civil means civilians, and code. Code means the rules and regulations which governs our day-to-day operations according to the law of the land, that is our constitution. According to Uniform Civil Code's interpretation, it will be universal to everyone: Hindus, Christians, Muslims, Sikhs, Parsis, Buddhists, Jainis, and even the non-religious. However, what leads to the conflict? How Uniform Civil Code has been understood? Uniform Civil Code has been understood by either one religious group as a tool to subvert their religious beliefs, and on the other hand, another minority religious group believes that the invocation of Uniform Civil Code will tantamount to infringement of their cultural interest. For instance, after the 1985 case, which we are going to deal with in the coming links, as of now for an information, the 1985 Shah Banos case, the Supreme Court has granted a right to alimony by striking down the verdict of the Muslim panchayats under Shariat law. The Islamic community, under several banners, have come down to the streets, which prompted and forced, to say so, the government of India in the year 1987 to formulate a law, that is Mohammedan Property and Inheritance Act, which prohibits women from property inheritance, alimony, and the right to hold the gifts or the property that has been shared as a part of their inheritance. This is what the change that the confusion causes, and this is how the politicization of a social justice under the roof of Uniform Civil Code has widely been misunderstood, misrepresented, and even misused. Well, now get back to the historic background. If we go by the Shariat, if we have the Muslim and other religious friends, we always inform that Radio Udaan is always believes in centralist perspective. Hence, today we are not right and we are not left. We are neutral. We are only talking about Uniform Civil Code. Hence, we need to take some controversial provisions such as Shariat, Fatwa, Talaq, that is triple Talaq, and the ecclesiastic courts of the Catholics into the frame to discuss the issue in detail. Hence, we request to bear the facts. Well, if we go back to Alauddin Khilji's era, the person who has been widely acknowledged as a brave warrior at the same time brutal dictator, claimed to have taken several changes in the Shariat. He has even said once that the Almighty may treat me as an ignorant because I violate and stay away from these Shariat laws which discriminates my own people. Hence, I hope that the Almighty will forgive me in heavens. If we go by that logic, even at the period of Alauddin Khilji, the topic of cutting down Shariat laws were on. And when we move closer, when the Mughals began to lose their ground to the East India Company, especially in the year 1772, before 1 year of the Regulating Act of 1773, Warren Hastings has told to the company that there must be laws that govern the property, inheritance, alimony, divorce, and adoption rights of the people of India or the people of British India. However, we should not touch the personal laws. In that sense, the Muslim personal laws have been kept aside. After 18 years, in the year 1790, Cornwallis has even granted a new provision under his construction of three-tier court system in West Bengal. The three-tier court system has even had the Qazi, the Muftis, as a part of their Islamic justice court or Islamic court named Sadr Nizamat Court. That is Sadr Nizamat Adalat. Qazis and Muftis were considered to be the justice to provide Islamic justice under the Islamic laws. In the year 1817, the Rudolph Peters Resolution crushed such provision granted by Cornwallis and told that whenever there is a court in general, religious personal law should not be allowed to infringe upon the interest of the masses. So, the intention to bring uniform civil code, or at that time we can put it in this way, that at least a common law or a common code for all was there. Uniform civil code was not the thing of lately. In the year 1840, there was a wide range of discussion. Remember, in the year 1835, under the aegis of William Bentinck, Sati, one of the most atrocious Hindu Shastra rule, which makes or forces the married woman to kill herself or to jump into the flames as soon as her husband dies, was crushed. After 1835, when Sati was crushed, 1840, the deep discussion was on in the East India Company and in British about bringing a universal law for the citizens to avoid caste, creed, class discriminations. However, even at that time, the personal laws dealing with properties, inheritance, alimony. Alimony means the ransom or the amount of money that one pays to his or her wife after divorce. It's a kind of concession or ex gratia, so to speak. So, 1840, the same thing has happened. However, the personal laws haven't been touched. Despite being colonized, Indians weren't aware of the necessity of quashing the personal laws. There comes the Crown Rule in 1858, and in the year 1859, the Victoria has widely acknowledged with a resolution that the British will not interfere into the religious interests of the British Indians, which ultimately quashed all the efforts made in the past to bring somewhat a common code for the civilians who are coming under the territory of India, which was occupied by the British. In the year 1859, thanks to 1857 revolution based on the communal interest of Enfield Cartridge, which Hindus and Muslims had a divergent view, although that united them, 1859 Victoria's resolution has finally put an end to all the efforts of bringing a common code. Hence, the personal laws have stayed in the course of action. In the year 1864, the Indian Marriage Act was framed by the British, but that was based on pure Christian laws. While the Muslim personal laws were on the roof, in terms of discrimination against women, prohibition of women to enter into public space, prohibition of property rights, prohibition of inheritance. On the other hand, the Hindu Shastra laws that discriminates women to be the second downgraded sex, and dowry sati, which was still prevalent. In their 1889, the Muslim Adalat case of Muhammad vs. Amir, cited by Mullah, has been the turning point in terms of discussion of eradication of fatwa, shariat, triple talaq, or simply speaking, Islamic personal laws. When we move closer to 1920, the Kochi Memons Act of 1920 and the Khoja Muslim Act were the one which some part of minority Muslims followed as part of their rights. However, 1937, thanks to Indo-Islamic divergence and the intention of partition began to blaze, which even made the efforts of the leaders at that time, including Jawaharlal Nehru, Mahatma Gandhi, Dr. B.R. Ambedkar, in propagation of Uniform Civil Code to go to waste. In terms of Khoja and Kochi Memons Act, we need to say another interesting issue, that is the Kochi Memons Act. The followers of Kochi Memons Act, the Muslims, were followed most of the Hindu rituals. They considered Ali, Hazrat Ali, as the 10th avatar of Vishnu, not the Kalki avatar, but instead of Kalki, they have considered Ali. Hazrat Ali, the one who coined the term jihad. Well, in the year 1937, India has undergone to a darkest public proclamation, that is, the invocation of Shariat law. Remember, 1937 was the year where Shariat has been invoked. Partition took place, post-independence has come, the Constituent Assembly has widely debated the issue of Uniform Civil Code. Various leaders have accepted the Uniform Civil Code, including the women leaders like Lakshmi Menon, Minu Masani, Hansa Begum, and many more. And on the other hand, many Hindu leaders themselves have opposed this, like Dr. Rajendra Prasad, Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel. We'll tell you more about the post-independent action on Uniform Civil Code in the next link only on Radio Udaan. You are listening to Postmortem with me, Balanagin, and today we are dissecting Uniform Civil Code and its dark realities. Stay tuned.
आलू है गोभी है मटर टमाटर
आलू है गोभी है मटर टमाटर बाबूजी एकदम बढ़िया ताजा है।
सेब है एकदम मीठा सेब बाबूजी एकदम मीठा सेब ले लो।
अरे बाबूजी सेब ले लो, सेब एकदम मीठे हैं, बढ़िया एकदम
ले लो बाबूजी।
अरे भैया ये सेब का भाव दिए?
अरे बाबूजी ले लो, 120 रुपए किलो हैं।
अच्छे हैं?
अरे एकदम बढ़िया बाबूजी, कश्मीरी सेब हैं।
अच्छा अच्छा 2 किलो दे दो।
दे रहे हैं बाबूजी वही। ले बाबूजी।
अरे रे 1 मिनट, तुम इन्हें पॉलीथीन में क्यों पैक कर रहे हो? ये बहुत खतरनाक होती है, क्या तुम्हें पता नहीं है?
बाबूजी ये कैसे?
देखो, जब हम इन पन्नियों का यूज करते हैं तो इसमें रखा सामान खाने योग्य नहीं होता। दूसरा, जब हम इसे फेंकते हैं तो पशु पक्षियों के लिए भी खतरनाक साबित होता है। पानी में डालें तो पानी को भी दूषित करता है और साथ ही साथ हमारी नन्ही नन्ही मछलियां इसमें फंस जाती हैं, जिससे उनका दम घुट जाता है। या फिर हम इन पॉलीथीन बैग्स को जलाएं तो उससे निकलने वाली गैस जैसे कार्बन डाइऑक्साइड से हमारी स्वच्छ वायु दूषित हो जाती है। तो ऐसी खतरनाक चीज का हम उपयोग क्यों करें भला?
सही कहा बाबूजी आपने। अब हम कबहू ना प्लास्टिक का थैला इस्तेमाल करीब। अब तो हम हमेशा कपड़े का थैला इस्तेमाल करीब और पन्नी का भी इस्तेमाल नहीं करीब।
दोस्तों, ये तो समझ गए और आप नहीं समझे तो समझ जाइए।
रेडियो उड़ान द्वारा जनहित में जारी।
Visit on www.radioudan.com।
नैब इंडिया यानी नेशनल एसोसिएशन फॉर द ब्लाइंड इंडिया, इंडिया की सबसे पुरानी संस्था है जहां दृष्टिहीनों के लिए शिक्षा, रोजगार और पुनर्वसन की सेवा दी जाती है।
नैब इंडिया पर संपर्क करने के लिए हमें ईमेल करें hsg@nabindia.info पर। आप हमें कॉल भी कर सकते हैं। हमारा नंबर है 02266838637।
विकलांगों की आवश्यकताओं के अनुरूप समाज में बाधा रहित निर्माण ही है विकलांगजनों के लिए सहज जीवन का एहसास।
सहज सुगम विकलांग का जीवन, समय की है आवाज यही, सुगम्य भारत अभियान सफल हो, सरकार का है प्रयास यही।
सार्वजनिक भवनों, सरकारी कार्यालयों, स्कूल, अस्पताल, पुलिस स्टेशन आदि के साथ साथ विभिन्न परिवहन व्यवस्थाओं जैसे रेलवे स्टेशन, बस स्टॉप, एयरपोर्ट आदि को विकलांग जनों की आवश्यकताओं के अनुरूप सुगम बनाया जा रहा है,
ताकि दृष्टि बाधित, श्रवण बाधित तथा अन्य विकलांगजन बाधा रहित जीवन के सुखद एहसास से गुजर सकें।
अधिक जानकारी www.disabilityaffairs.gov.in से हासिल करें।
सुगम्य भारत, सशक्त भारत,
विकलांग जन सशक्तिकरण विभाग, भारत सरकार।
यार ब्लाइंड होने का एक प्रॉब्लम है, मन करता है अच्छे अच्छे रेस्टोरेंट्स में जाऊं और नई नई डिश ट्राई करूं, पर मेन्यू ही नहीं पढ़ पाता।
हाँ, और वेटर से पूरा मेन्यू तो नहीं पढ़वा सकते और हर आइटम की प्राइस पूछते हुए शर्म आती है।
जानते हो, ये प्रॉब्लम लो विजन वालों और सीनियर सिटीजन्स को भी आती है। रेस्टोरेंट्स में लाइटिंग भी तो बहुत कम होती है ना।
कभी कभी सोचती हूँ कि घर से खाना ऑर्डर कर दूं, लेकिन आसपास के रेस्टोरेंट पता करना और उनकी मेन्यू जानना कितना मुश्किल है। कोई इसके लिए कुछ करता क्यों नहीं?
उन सब लोगों के लिए जिनको रेस्टोरेंट मेन्यू पढ़ने में दिक्कत होती है, इंडिया का पहला एक्सेसिबल रेस्टोरेंट फाइंडर एंड मेन्यू रीडिंग ऐप गुड फूड टॉक्स लॉन्च हो गया है। अब अपने मोबाइल, टैबलेट या कंप्यूटर पे कभी भी कहीं भी आप अपने आसपास के रेस्टोरेंट का नाम, एड्रेस, फोन नंबर और मेन्यू आसानी से पढ़ सकते हैं। बस गुड फूड टॉक्स ऐप एंड्रॉइड प्ले स्टोर से डाउनलोड करें। अपने कंप्यूटर या आईफोन पर www.goodfoodtalks.in that is goodfoodtalks.in खोलें और एंजॉय करें।
अरे वाह, मजा आ गया। देखो तो पास में कौन कौन से रेस्टोरेंट्स हैं।
एक मंच जहां मिलती है महत्वपूर्ण जानकारियां,
सवाल हो और जवाब दूं।
एक मंच जहां होते हैं हंसी और ठहाके।
वाह। एक मंच जहां होती हैं चर्चाएं।
दूसरी वाली आपको नहीं समर्पित करूंगा।
नहीं कीजिए,
बड़े स्पोर्टिंग। आप पहले सुन लीजिए, उसके बाद कहिएगा आपको चाहिए समर्पण कि नहीं चाहिए।
एक मंच जहां मिलेगा लोकप्रिय संगीत।
और इन सब के बीच एक ऐसा मंच जहां मिलता है सब कुछ। लॉग ऑन कीजिए www.radioudan.com और जुड़ जाइए हमारे साथ।
When we speak about post-independence, we need to speak about one important act which most of us may not know. That is 1947 Women Property Rights and Inheritance Act, which even led to the constitution of B.N.R. Rao Committee to deeply discuss into the act. However, it has gone into the shelves. But let's look into the debates, some of the highlights of what happened in the Constituent Assembly while talking about Uniform Civil Code. The founding fathers were on the two sides. One agreed, another disagreed. If we trace back in the year 1930 itself, India's post-independence first Prime Minister, Jawaharlal Nehru, has even talked in this issue in the year 1930 about bringing a universal common code for all citizens, barring the interference of any religion. However, those provisions has widely been criticized by V.D. Savarkar and Muhammad Jinnah. In terms of Guruji Golwalkar, one of the RSS patrons, who also called democracy as the piece of meat on which crows chew, criticized the influx of uniform civil code by striking down the Hindu Shastras. He called that India, it literally means, in terms of culture and values, a country of Hindus. Hence, every other religious law has to be scrapped and all to be brought in under the Hindu code. However, in the year 1933, Lakshmi Menon has widely criticized the prohibition which the law propagates against women, and she has even criticized the male parliamentarians who are discussing but not acting in order to provide welfare measures, at the same time legal dignity to the women. When we swiftly tread past to 1948, even in the Constituent Assembly, one Muslim constituent member has said this. This is not an exaggeration, but a quote. I quote, "If you dare touch the Muslim personal law, if you want to see another campaign of partition, you can do and bring in uniform civil code." This is what forced the chairperson of the drafting committee of the Constitution, Dr. B.R. Ambedkar, to say this. I quote, "I don't know what makes the religions to have such a greater importance in the legal governance of the country. Why do we need to give such a religious freedom to the religions to govern our legality, dignity, and livelihood? The social iniquities, discriminations, deprivations, and slavery has to be abolished, for which the lone solution is the promulgation of uniform civil code." Hence we can say that the stress to bring uniform civil code for all was there even as soon as we were independent. When the Hindu Succession Act or the Special Marriage Act was passed in the year 1954, which has literally acted as a universal act. Even now, those who want to marry in a non-religious rituals or against the solemnization of religious rituals or against marrying under any religious law can opt for the Special Marriage Act of 1954. The 1956 Hindu Marriage Act has played a pivotal role in one, increasing the necessity of debates and discussions on uniform civil code, and number two, making it the blockade from promulgating uniform civil code. The then Prime Minister Jawaharlal Nehru has believed that Hindu Marriage Act would act as a key to convince the religious minorities in order to bring all the religious personal laws to dust and to invoke a new acceptable universal rules and regulations which could guide the property rights, inheritance, and the women development of the country. However, it has backfired and acted against what it has been dreamt of. When we speak about Hindu Marriage Act, of course, the reason for which Jawaharlal Nehru said Hindu Marriage Act was the key towards uniform civil code, the lone reason was, even at the time of independence or pre-independence, Hindu practice was varied. There were differences in terms of rituals, differences in terms of treatments, differences in terms of divorce, and every other cultural aspects among the group of Hindus. However, the Hindu Marriage Act has brought them all under a single group by scrapping various issues which could be considered as anti-human, like Narabali, when we say human sacrifice. On the other hand, still, there are practices of marriage under the Hindu code differs from region to region. For example, in most part of northern India, the Hindu marriage takes place on the basis of Saptapadi. But on the southern region, especially in Tamil Nadu, it has Suya Maryade or Sirututta weddings. So things are still confusing, collision, hodgepodge. Hence, the need for uniform civil code is turning more vigorous than ever. In the year 1980, when we speak about the important case studies of pertaining to Uniform Civil Code, we have to talk about Shah Beno case of 1980. In the year 1980, the then 73-year-old woman Shah Beno has gone to the Muslim Panchayat approaching for the divorce which her husband made by just a triple talaq after 40 years of marriage and left her alone without even an alimony. And the Muslim Panchayat has granted the right to the husband to divorce without alimony. She gone to court, which has attracted the public interest at large. In the year 1985, the apex court of the country has granted the right to alimony and even regretted for the government's ability of inaction in promulgating Uniform Civil Code. In the year 1987, thanks to the protest followed to the verdict of Shah Beno's case, the then Rajiv Gandhi government was forced to promulgate Mohammedan Property and Inheritance Act, where the women were prohibited from right to property. Even if they have the property and the gifts, that has to be handed over to the last heir of their male family members. Unfortunately, it still continues. In the year 1995, the Sarala Mudgal case. In the Sarala Mudgal case, the apex court has even gone further and said the period for the scrapping of all personal laws that diversifies and distinguishes people on the grounds of religion and to promulgate a uniform civil code, which Article 44 deeply enshrines. However, things have gone down to win. In the year 2003, a Christian-based issue has erupted where the public interest litigation filed demanding special Christian courts. Termed as ecclesiastic courts under the Roman Catholic law, the Christian courts will function based on the biblical references and Christian law. The Supreme Court has straightaway struck down and said that this cannot be accepted, as every religion would try to penetrate into the social justice of the people of the country only according to their religiously propagated laws. After that, the debate on Uniform Civil Code has enhanced, and now we are standing here where the recent interference of Supreme Court, which directly said that the court cannot issue any directives. It is the duty of the Parliament to take the initiative. But this is the right at the apt moment where we need to done away with all the previous religious personal laws which are violative on the grounds of Article 14, which grants equality of law and equality before law. Article 15, prohibition of discrimination only on the grounds of place of birth, sex, race, class, caste, creed. And also Article 25, which grants right to freedom of religion. The Supreme Court has even observed that right to freedom of religion doesn't mean the right to personal laws of religion. When we speak about this provision of inducting people under a single roof, we need to understand here that every religion has the same prohibitory, discriminative, deprivative laws which treats one in a different way and another in a different way. As I said in the beginning, the Islamic law allows one to marry 4 women at the same time. The Christian and the Hindu law prohibits it. Even when we talk about Shariat and Islamic laws, the Islamic countries like Egypt, Turkey, even Pakistan, which had followed the same Shariat law from 1937 to 1947 before partition, has undergone a reform in the year 1961 and put an end to triple talaq and the Shariat laws and changed the polygamy marital system. South Oman, Syria has even banned polygamy. Turkey, the country that is Islamic in total, has completely abolished the Shariat presence. In India, only one state has a state family code, which can be said as the miniature of uniform civil code. Goa is the only state. Let's know some information about Goa family code or Goa civil code, Goa uniform civil code. How is it possible for only one state to hold on to such a universal provision for its citizens? What's the population according to 2001 census? And what the real scenario talks about the Uniform Civil Code and the necessity that requires to be promulgated across India, not only in Goa. But as the Parliament of India promulgated only for Goa? If yes, then why? We'll answer you in the next link only on Radio Udaan. You're listening to Postmortem with me, Balanagan, and enlightenment begins here.
रेडियो उड़ान सुन रहे सभी मित्रों को मेरा प्यार भरा नमस्कार। मेरा नाम मधु सिंघल है। मैं बेंगलोर में कार्यरत संस्था मित्र ज्योति, जो पिछले 25 वर्षों से दृष्टिहीनों एवं दूसरे विकलांग व्यक्तियों के लिए कार्यरत है, उसकी मैनेजिंग ट्रस्टी हूँ। इस संस्था की गतिविधियाँ इस प्रकार हैं। यहाँ पर दृष्टिहीनों के लिए ऑडियो में पुस्तकें रिकॉर्ड की जाती हैं। इसके साथ साथ ब्रेल में और स्कैन्ड पुस्तकें भी उनको दी जा रही हैं। कंप्यूटर प्रशिक्षण और रोजगार की सुविधाएं भी यहाँ प्रदान की जा रही हैं। दृष्टिहीन महिलाओं के लिए एक विशेष प्रकार का कोर्स चलाया जाता है, जिसमें उन्हें आत्मनिर्भर बनकर जीवन में आगे बढ़ने की क्षमता प्रदान की जा रही है। आप मित्र ज्योति से संपर्क कर सकते हैं। यहाँ का फोन नंबर है 08022587623 और 22587625। ईमेल एड्रेस है admin.office@mitrajyoti.org। वेबसाइट है www.mitrajyoti.org।
7 days, 168 hours, 10,080 seconds. The world faces infinite amount of changes. Thunderous, terrorizing, terrible and tantalizing events. Everything will be enveloped in 60 minutes only on Radio Udaan. World This Week. A ball on the globe. Don't forget to tune into Radio Udaan to listen to World This Week with Balanagendran on every Sunday 8 to 9 p.m. It will be rebroadcast and every Monday 3 to 4 p.m. World This Week. A ball on the globe.
बदलता दो, जहां हम पहुंचाएंगे आपकी आवाज सरकार तक। बदलता दो, जो देता है आपको जानकारी अपनी कम्युनिटी में होने वाले तमाम इंसिडेंट्स। सुनते रहिए बदलता दो डिस्कशन रेडियो उड़ान पर हर रविवार रात को 9 से 10 और सोमवार 4 से 5 सिर्फ और सिर्फ रेडियो उड़ान पर।
लो आ गई नई आजादी।
मगर बताओ तो सही, कौन सी है ये नई आजादी?
ये आजादी है हमें और भी करीब से सुनने की।
वो कैसे?
वो ऐसे कि अब आप हमें सुन सकते हो हमारे ऑफिशियली एंड्रॉइड ऐप के माध्यम से, जो कि अवेलेबल है गूगल प्ले स्टोर पर।
तो आज ही डाउनलोड करें रेडियो उड़ान का ऑफिशियल ऐप और आनंद लें एक नई आजादी का। रेडियो उड़ान, अ फ्लाइट ऑफ लाइफ।
विकलांगों की आवश्यकताओं के अनुरूप समाज में बाधा रहित निर्माण ही है विकलांगजनों के लिए सहज जीवन का एहसास।
सहज सुगम विकलांग का जीवन, समय की है आवाज यही, सुगम में भारत अभियान सफल हो, सरकार का है प्रयास यही।
सार्वजनिक भवनों, सरकारी कार्यालयों, स्कूल, अस्पताल, पुलिस स्टेशन आदि के साथ साथ विभिन्न परिवहन व्यवस्थाओं जैसे रेलवे स्टेशन, बस स्टॉप, एयरपोर्ट आदि को विकलांग जनों की आवश्यकताओं के अनुरूप सुगम बनाया जा रहा है,
ताकि दृष्टि बाधित, श्रवण बाधित तथा अन्य विकलांग जन बाधा रहित जीवन के सुखद एहसास से गुजर सके।
अधिक जानकारी www.disabilityaffairs.gov.in से हासिल करें।
सुगम्य भारत, सशक्त भारत,
विकलांग जन सशक्तिकरण विभाग, भारत सरकार।
प्रतिभा की पहचान,
प्रज्ञा की मुस्कान,
सबलांगों का साथी, ये है रेडियो उड़ान।
रेडियो उड़ान के प्रोग्राम्स की जानकारी के लिए, शोज में पार्टिसिपेट करने के लिए, किसी भी शो को फीडबैक देने के लिए, आर्काइव रिक्वेस्ट करने के लिए, आरजे बनने के लिए और अपने फेवरेट आरजेस की प्रोफाइल्स पढ़ने के लिए लॉग ऑन करें www.radioudan.com। स्काइप आईडी रेडियो उड़ान, ईमेल mail@radioudan.com। रेडियो उड़ान, अ फ्लाइट ऑफ लाइफ।
Welcome back to the final segment of today's postmortem on Uniform Civil Code with me, Balanagendran, live from Chennai. Enlightenment begins here only on Radio Udaan, Light of Life. When we speak further on what happened in Goa, for the information, it was not the act of civil code for the Goa Family Code or Goa Family Act promulgated by the Government of India, the Parliament of India, but by the Portuguese. While we are talking about the scrapping of colonial legacies, colonial law like Indian Penal Code, All India Criminal Code, CRPC and so forth, still we have one positive aspect in terms of colonial legacy, that is the Portuguese colonial legacy in terms of Goa Family Act, which is considered to be the uniform civil code that prevails in Goa. If we look into the statistics of 2001 census, the population was 13,40,998, out of which 67.5% were Hindus, 26.6% were Christians, 6.8% were Muslims, the three major religious groups. However, they follow the common code in terms of state affairs. But still, the rest, 28 states and 7 union territories, are lying behind without such universally accepted common code of conduct or rules and regulations that could govern the actions of the citizens of this country under the law of the land. What are the possible factors that inhibits in promulgation of Uniform Civil Code? When we look deep into that, the understanding on Uniform Civil Code, either from the positivist perspective or the negativist perspective, were wrong. The positivists were moving towards bringing them under the majoritarian rule, that is Hindu code. On the other hand, the religious minority groups are propagating that their religious interests will be crushed if there is the promulgation of Uniform Civil Code. But the reality is, when we acknowledge India as a secular country, the preamble says, "We, the people of India, having solemnly resolved to constitute India into a sovereign, socialist, secular, democratic and republic." If we really acknowledge the secularism, the secular fabric of the country, which allows the flow of freedom of religion, right to profess, concise and propagate religion, it is only true when we have Uniform Civil Code. As long as we don't have such a unifying law, there is no meaning of holding secularism in the country. The reality is, there must be a piecemeal approach from the Parliament, that it has to make the domain of different religious groups to be aware of what is Uniform Civil Code. Larger debates has to take place. Larger discussions and information sharing from the experts on this subject has to be taken into account to avoid the hindrance of knowledge or the venomous infliction of false information by the vote-starving political spectrum. Otherwise, the secularism will stay as sick. Let's hope that the time has come and Uniform Civil Code will be promulgated, as we strongly believe in